18 U.S. Code Section 2381, 2382. That's treason and misprison of treason. For those of you who don't know what misprison is, you know what misprison is?
No.
Misprison is when you, in an office that you hold and have been appointed to, elected to, or promoted to, military counts as well,
Mhm.
see a crime, recognize it to be a crime, know it to be a crime, know it to be a reportable crime, and then fail to report it for any reason.
Hmm.
That is misprison of treason. What this means in the grand scheme of thing is that the entire federal government is guilty of misprison of treason because everybody knows what's happening at the border is treason.
Correct.
It is obviously treason. Aid and support to the enemy.
Yeah.
And this is
Well,
clearly
technically they're not the enemy because there's no declaration of war. I'm just giving you the argument that the left is going to pull.
They have already tried to pull this. Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution, I've brought this up numerous times, protecting the border from invasion. The Democrats are saying, oh, the founders didn't mean this kind of an invasion. They meant something else entirely. This isn't the invasion. This is not the invasion the founders were trying to tell you about. This is not it. It's something else. But not this.
But here's the thing. When you're at war, you inflict casualties upon the enemy because it burns up resources.
Yes.
There's your resources right there.
Yes.
$105,000 per person or per mother and 2 kids that's coming across the border.
Yes.
All the free shit they're going to get.
Yeah.
It's like wounding a soldier and then having us to expend resources to care for and recuperate this guy. And they're sending over millions and millions of these people. I mean, there's a reason why we went from 3 trillion to 27 trillion now. I don't even know the number. It's absolutely insane.
To give an example of weaponizing an invasion, here's a small one, but this happened in 2008 in Libya, between Libya and Italy. Gaddafi, who was in charge at the time, who's actually a pretty clever guy. Everybody thinks he was a psycho dictator. The guy was smart, though. He was
listen, he was a psycho.
He was a psycho.
Yeah.
In 2008, more than 32,000 people were trying to enter illegally into Italy. The EU was keen to strike a pact with Libyan leader Gaddafi to help stem the flow. Following the signing of the Rome-Tripoli Accord, the number of people entering illegally dropped to only 7,300 in 2009. Here's what was going on. Gaddafi demanded 5 billion a year in euros for Libya's efforts, warning that Europe could turn into Africa as there are millions of Africans who want to come in, which reveals another piece of the puzzle. Why would any sane country give up all of its able-bodied males? Well, it's really simple. All of those governments in those little crappy backwater countries are corrupt.
And they can't control their people. So the less they have, the better off they are.
What they can do is take money from the EU and the WHO and the USA, frankly. The State Department does this as well. In exchange for their selling their people. It's the slave trade. Give us a whole bunch of your people. We're doing this immigration thing.
So it's the slave trade once removed.
Yes.
Because they're not actually, you're not paying them for the slaves. You're paying them to keep them out.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These third world dictators, and most of them are dictators in most of these countries, one form or another, they're a dictator, are taking money from these organizations, the WHO, the WEF, the UN, and probably directly from the State Department.
Or
we're down there a lot.
You have NGOs that are taking money from the government and then
money, and they're the transport mechanism.
Correct.
They're the middle passage.
Yeah, they are.
Those NGOs are the middle passage.
Here's another thing that really just burns my bridges is we have a bunch of individuals in the Christian religion who are bringing people to this United States. I mean, come on now. I mean, if you want to convert them over there, that's fine. I don't care. But right now, at this time of what's going on with this country, that needs to stop.
So there's this story in a very old book about these two guys. And one of them, he's a teacher and a priest, and he's got a group of friends that he spends a lot of time with. And one of the other guy in the story, he starts talking to these other priests who don't like this new priest in town. And he says, I could maybe if you, and the other priests go, oh yeah, here's 30 pieces of silver.
Yes.
For you to lead the Romans to this priest's house, this teacher's house, and pick him up. This is a story that's been told before.
Yeah, I think that guy's name is Judas.
Judas. What happened to him anyway? Didn't he walk into the temple of the other priests and dump the coins on the floor and say, I can't bear the weight of my own sins, and then go hang himself?
I believe that's what happened.
That is what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for some of these NGOs to realize what they've done to their own people, their own country, and their own communities and their own families in the long run.
Well,
I'm waiting for them to realize it and maybe, bring the silver back and then go find a tree.
Well, we're having our own compassion and mercy weaponized against us.
Yes.
That's exactly what's happening.
What has happened.
And that is some evil fucking shit there. That's almost as evil as destroying hope and love.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Caser box.